Yes, but first, we wanted to talk about the video he did about the biggest screw job ever. Because we were scrolling the YouTube interwebs and we came across this video that came up that was trending, and we watched it in its entirety. And we didn't want to do a reaction to it, but we did want to give our thoughts about it before we jumped into our next reaction. But I thought it was incredibly insightful as far as what's going on in the industry now in 2022, because we all know that tons and tons of artists now are taking things into their own hands and they want to become more independent. And Tom really has been leading the way in that area because he literally does everything himself. He shoots his own videos, they package and ship out their own physical copies of music, and they literally cut out the publishing companies and the record labels. And I think that was very, very interesting. But to kind of, I guess, legitimize himself, to let people know, he is for real, mainstream wise. One of the only ways you can do that is to be on Billboard. And so that's one of the things that he wanted to do, was to be a top performing Billboard artist. And so in order to do that, you have to fulfill certain guidelines to do that. And so with this video, you come to find that he has done everything that he could do to verify his physical sales as well as his streaming sales. And come to find out that's not good enough.
Yeah, so for the people who haven't watched the video, Tom is giving his experience with the data collection company who provides data to Billboard.
Right, for the rankings.
Right. And he's showing his process of attempting to provide said data.
Right.
And this had to be very traumatic for him because he was trying to give over the data.
Right.
But
they weren't accepting it.
Not only weren't they accepting the data, the person that he was communicating with wasn't believing the numbers. Like, right. You know how someone asks you for, like, if you're at work and you ask for the numbers and you give them the numbers and you give them the proof of the numbers and they give you the runaround.
Literally, that's what happened.
This
right.
is what happened.
Right.
And it actually bothered me to my core.
Right.
Because you're having a conversation with someone, you're giving them the facts, you're giving them the data, and they're giving you the runaround.
Yeah. Well, my thing is that I think it was purposely done.
Obviously.
I think that because at the beginning of the video, he just acknowledged all his haters and he acknowledged all the people that have a hate boner for him. And I think that the music industry is one of those areas that have a hate boner for him. I think that Tom is somebody who is doing something that not a lot of people are doing, and he's successful at it. And no, they don't want to give him credit because there's people out there that want to make money off of artists. And they don't want other independent artists or just artists in general following in his footsteps. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, if they can block him at any way they can, then they're going to do it. And so with him legitimizing himself as being a Billboard artist, that would be the nail in the coffin. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, they're going to block what he's doing if they can.
He's a disruptor.
Yeah, he's definitely.
And
right.
they're giving him the illusion.
Right.
They're giving him the illusion that if you provide this data, then of course
right.
you can be on the charts. But the way they went about it was just like, well, I'm just not believing it. And so he provided every avenue that he could to
right.
provide the data, and they still
wouldn't verify it.
Right. And so him going above and beyond, and it shows me that they don't want independent artists to make a way
No, they
onto
don't.
billboards, because if that was the case, everyone would start doing. You would see
Right.
mainstream artists leaving their record labels.
Well, they are.
Yeah, but you would see it in
Record droves.
If that was the case, and this would have set a precedence.
Right. Well, the main thing is
They couldn't let that happen.
Right. They couldn't let that happen. And the main thing is that over the years, we've seen the music industry, record companies spiral out of control because everybody is trying to navigate this online digital world. We're seeing old songs blow up from TikTok. We're seeing songs go viral on YouTube. And you're seeing things of where record companies, they don't have control over. And so something they do have control over is Billboard, because they have a relationship with them. And so all this is doing is, even with them blocking the data company, blocking Tom from having access to that area, is giving him ammunition, because people don't know how social media works. They don't know how the music industry now in this game works. This guy has ammunition to make a video talking about this, discussing this, because now he's putting the data company in a bad spotlight, because now it hurts the integrity of that data company.
They put themselves in a bad spotlight, because my thing is, if you see the data that this man is giving you and you're just choosing to say, I don't believe you, and not taking the data and not following your own rules.
Right.
Without realizing, hey, this man has a platform. This man has a
He
following.
has a voice. Right.
And on social media, online, whatever that may be, that means more to the world than your archaic system of how you do things. And I'm telling you, this is not going to be good for this data collection business, and this company, because it's going to mean to me that they need to get audited from all the past years that they've collected data.
Ooh, yikes.
And whoever this person who did this, they're going to get the axe, because the data company is going to be like, well, they're going to have to CYA. I know how this happens. They're going to have to CYA, get rid of that person he was communicating with, and be like, oh, I'm so sorry. You know, this is not how we normally do things, just to gain their credibility back. But I'm telling you, this data collection company is going to have to be audited. And I'm telling you, when that happens, all hell is going to break loose, because some artists, like even 6ix9ine, he said he was saying some of the same things. So this was a bad move on this data collection.
And they tried to warn him. You know, they tried to warn. Tom had people who work with him. It was like the manufacturer guy, hey, look, I packaged this up. They had the social media guy. You know, all you have to do is look at his numbers. This is a guy who has over 100 million streams for his songs and his music, and that's all they had to do was look at the numbers.
I think they
that
did.
Are publicly available, to know that, you know, you can try to screw this guy over.
And they tried.
But it's going to go bad.
It's going to backfire on them.
It already did, because we're doing a video about it.
Yeah, but it's gonna get worse. And see, the thing about something like this, you know, I've dealt with people like this, going back and forth on emails. Even the gas company, when they ran a gas line through our plumbing. And
they want to go back and forth. And
they don't want to give you the money. They don't want to pay for it. And you have to go through this whole rigmarole of something that they should take care of. And I'm not the right person for it, because when Tom was going through all this, I was like, dang, I wish I could have helped, because you know, I get stuff done. I'll call you. I'll
go reach out to the CEO on Twitter on his vacation and let him know what's going on.
Like when I bought my car, and the saleswoman, she didn't know something, and she told me the wrong thing, and I found the owner of that particular what wasn't the owner, was the vice president.
Yeah.
He gave me his cell phone number. He was like, if you have any more problems in the past or in the future, you call me. See, I get stuff done.
Right.
And I wanted to handle this for Tom.
Oh goodness. but anyway, yeah, that's our thoughts. Hopefully things will work out.
They will.
They're going to work out because now all of this stuff is public, and even with Tom disclosing these emails, it's just putting everything out there. Like, all their business is out there, so they're going to have to make.
You're going to get audited, data
right.
collection company.
Yeah, but anyway,
it's going to be all over for you.
Yeah. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into this song. This is "In God We Trust." This is with Tom Macdonald and Adam Calhoun.
Jennings.
Dang, there's a whole bunch of people in here. Struggle Jennings and Nova Rockafeller. All right, let's go.
They separate us from our neighbors and they call it social distancing. It's actually a bigger plan, it's called social conditioning. They took away our privacy, there's always someone listening. The election's planning riots for the citizens. The government has always lied, it's history repeating. But the problem is the schools dumb you down so you believe them. If you try to speak the truth inside a tweet, then they delete it. Whole administration Satanists who claim they praise in Jesus. Every year there's a new name for enemies that we're facing. It's Al-Qaeda, then ISIS, and now American patriots. Who would have thought those who love the country?
Every year.
We was having this conversation. Yeah. Every year is something.
So you notice now how before they were talking about, the C word, the sickness, because we can't say it. But now it's like war.
Yeah.
The most will be hated on by folks who call America home. Both political parties are equally just as evil. They've been working for themselves, don't give a damn about the people. Black, white, yellow, brown, humanity needs you. Cause united we stand, divided they will defeat you. The man on the news says the problem is me. I'm just a small town boy with big American dreams. The world's going crazy and they lying to us. Don't know who to believe, so in God we trust. Y'all missing what was written in them pages. That was history they wrote, now you wanna change it. You racist, you hate this. Why you want us all to be locked up in cages? I can't stand the left, everything they say's depressing. Ship them to the Middle East, they can learn oppression. Believe me, I mean this quite literal. I love liberty, but liberals wear a mask, stay home, complain and moan. Talk about privilege on your phone in your Range Rover, Starbucks, mango, foo-foo, whatever. The cloth I'm cut from can handle any weather. You just paper in the rain, we ain't the same. Stand for the flag, only kneel when I pray. I just pray we go back to the old days, land of the free, home of the brave. The man on the news says the problem is me. I'm just a small town boy with big American dreams. The world's going crazy and they lying to us. Don't know who to believe, so in God we trust.
Yeah. I see through all the illusions, refuse to hear rumors or accept that we're losing. Easy to get caught up, consumed by the consumer. Truth is so diluted, people starve off the confusion. Comfort is the killer, your dreams execution. Cool with persecution if I make a contribution. Home of the brave look like a mental institution, and there will be revolution if we can't find resolution. And a threat is a promise, stand up, pay homage. They tell lies, I'm being honest, test of time is upon us. I know that God got us, so I'm fighting in his honor. Hear the cries of the crusaders as we're strapping up our armor. Either sail the higher ground or drown in a drama. If I die for what I love, then my death will be nirvana. We fighting for our freedom, don't believe what they've been feeding. Be the change you wanna see, the warrior that we're needing.
The man on the news says the problem is me. I'm just a small town boy with big American dreams. The world's going crazy and they lying to us. Don't know who to believe, so in God we trust. We don't trust the news, the government, or pharma. We just want freedom, that you have that to offer. We don't want the lies, the politics, or the drama. We just want the life that was promised by our fathers. We don't trust the news, the government, or pharma. We just want freedom, that you have that to offer. We don't want the lies, the politics, or the drama. We just want the life that was promised by our fathers. The man on the news says the problem is me. I'm just a small town boy with big American dreams.
Wow. Very deep, very insightful as usual. Very thought-provoking as usual, because when he makes these songs and he gives his perspective. I mean, we've had 3 different rappers in here give their perspectives about how they feel about the state of society in America. It's just very unique, you know. It's always interesting hearing perspectives of people who feel like they don't have a voice, because you do. You know, everybody should have the ability to speak up. And I really like what they were saying about the news and the media controlling a narrative and making people feel like they don't have a voice at all. So,
well, basically blaming regular everyday people. That's what I got from that. This song is reflective of the conversations that we have.
Yeah.
I mean, we just had a conversation about something similar today. I feel like I'm being lied to, and I feel that all of this is a facade. And what's going on in the stock market, what's going on in the world, it's just like, this is like a big distraction. And we were talking about how like inflation is happening right now.
Man.
And we were watching something on YouTube, and what's happening with that, because everybody's been lied to. It's like inflation is going up because prices are going up and there's less supply, but somehow
People are still corporations are still making money. Record profits.
Record profits, okay? Record profits. And the crazy thing is, the wages in these companies are not going up. So when you had the conversation about, oh, if we raise wages, then inflation is going to happen. And wages have barely moved.
Right.
And inflation has skyrocketed. And when you hear these businesses like talk about, like, if they have their meetings, or like if you listen in on Bloomberg News or something like that, and they're talking about their profits, these corporations are rolling in the dough. They're not inflating prices just because they're paying their employees more, because they're not. They're not raising prices because there's less supply and there's more demand. It's all a facade to drain the American people dry.
So
people are being lied to.
People are being lied to. And this was something that we had a discussion about before, where we said that America has a classism issue. Because ultimately, and this is mainly what this video is about, it's like, as an American person, you are made to feel like you are the bad guy.
Yeah, well, they're actually telling you you're the problem. Like, you're causing this. And the middle class is continuously shrinking to where some people aren't even middle class anymore. You're working poor.
Ooh, yikes.
And it's like,
it was like you have the facade or delusion that you're middle class, but you're really working poor.
Right.
Check to check.
Yeah.
Ugh, yikes.
And so they don't want you to have these conversations. Like, even when I first started in corporate America, they would tell us, do not discuss your salary with other people. And I never understood why. And it was like, oh, because you could be making more than the other person doing the same job. And I remember my colleague coming to me, and she was like, how much do you make? And I was like, well, we're not supposed to disclose that. And I had to get away from it because there were a lot of things that were going on that wasn't right. And if you want fairness, if you want like a fair compensation, you know, why can't we discuss our salary? What are you doing that is so dishonest to where among my colleagues we can't discuss our salary?
See, in some form or fashion, it's like a move of like separation. And so
Yeah, defend us against one another.
Exactly. And so that's something that we see, a narrative that we see all the time, whether it be media or it's in your job or just culturally. There's this thing where they just want to separate people and divide, so to pit you against each other. And then while everybody else is fighting about what's going on and inflation this and I hate Donald Trump, I hate Joe Biden, it's like the real players are making the moves.
Yeah.
You know,
Getting more and more rich
more and more
day.
rich. Checkers, playing chess and we playing checkers.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So
but
this was very I love doing Tom Macdonald
Yeah,
reactions
exactly.
because they're thought provoking. I love doing thought provoking content. But the thing about doing content like this is not a lot of people watch this content. We love the Hog family and thank you for supporting us. But for some reason, our numbers have been low. And so if you want more Tom Macdonald reactions, please support by subscribing to the channel, liking this video, leave a comment for the algorithm, because if the views are low, that tells YouTube that you guys aren't interested in the content, and it will not be promoted and it will die.
Right.
And I know there's going to be some people that say, "Oh, well, you just do it for the views." We have to reiterate this. This is YouTube. We have to do it for the views because that's
what the algorithm looks at. Yeah.
So please support. It's free. It's subscribing to the channel, and liking the video.
Right.
And
because we would love to have more of these discussions. I know sometimes it's really hard to have some of these discussions, but I really like how Tom and Adam, sometimes with some of the things that they say, it's like peeling back. They like to peel back and just talk.
Get to the meat.
Yeah, get to the meat.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, once again, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you're new here, like this video, check out our playlist. We have a whole playlist of Tom Macdonald videos.
Yes.
Anyway, we'll see you guys next time.
Ta-ta.
Peace.